All right, in this chapter, talking about emails and talking about all kinds of links between web pages and creating complete websites, we are now going to talk about how exactly we create email links, we create hyperlink reference links, and so forth. Okay, so what I'm trying to do here is before I begin this chapter, I wanted to show you that Stephanie here, the CEO of Green Event Managers, is very happy with David, the new intern, and good job to you. David's been recalling all his skills, the programming skills that he learned at college. Now, with your help, he is able to create something like this, and he was working on the schedule, the table, using the tables that we did the other day. And he has a nice schedule ready, so he has some samples to show Stephanie what kind of tables she needs. So she wants him to remove this table, which is very simple, and she wants something like this with date and activities and everything. So she's looking forward to the final result, and she thinks David is on his way to creating a very nice website, Green Event Manager's website, and he has a lot of different samples for Stephanie to choose from, and there are different formats of the table as well. So Stephanie is quite happy with the progress. Remember, in the last chapter we were talking about tables, how you can create columns and rows using cell TD and TR tags, and you are also able to do a column span and a row span. This is a column span. Hotel booking is spanning over 2 columns, Holiday Inn and 120 rooms. And then we also did the row span. Edits duties are spanning over 3 rows here. Check in 40 guests, provide 15 non-veg meals, and provide 15 non-veg meals again. Okay, we just need to change this into normal meals. So you have edits duties. These are her 3 duties. Okay, so this is a nice way to present information to other users of this website. And then you can add some color as well. So these are the samples available for Stephanie to choose from, and as you can see, she's very happy. So Green Event Manager's website is on its way to become a very nice website towards the end of this course. We will see that. All right, so let's move on to our chapter 6 objectives. Okay, when I talk about the links, HTML links, if you remember, we spoke about many things in the last few topics related to links. We said that links, otherwise known as hyperlinks, okay, and the hyperlinks are actually in HTML language. They are written with using this tag, the ahref. Remember, the hyperlinks are defined using the a tag, the address tag, or the anchor element. Okay, anchor element. This is mostly called the anchor. Okay, if you recall that, this is the anchor element, A. Okay, and I'm just refreshing this because we've done this before. And the anchor tag is used with href tag. The href tag stands for hypertext reference. Remember that, because when we were creating this part of the website, we helped define home, about us, portfolio, training, schedule, contact, and even the English and the French website lang tag. We were actually linking 2 web pages together. Remember, we did that. We also created a folder, and within the folder we created several files with .html and .txt versions of the same file, and we were able to link them with each other using the anchor href tag. Okay, so we've done this before, and then we did the relative and the absolute tag. Let me open up my notepad, and I just need to show you the A anchor tag, href, typically how you do it. So I'm just explaining the code here. HTTP, this is the syntax, and you know the importance of following the syntax. HTTP Edupedia world.com. Close the inverted commas, close the tag, and write Edupedia World, that is the name of the link, Edupedia World. Okay, and you need to close the anchor tag. This is how, if you add this code in your website, in the remaining code, you have a proper head, body, title, HTML tag, and if you add your code within the body tag, this link is going to appear within the body tag. If you type it within the head tag, it's going to appear above the body tag. So what next? Okay, other thing that I wanted to revise was the relative, absolute, and root relative links. Okay, hypertext references can use absolute URLs, relative URLs, and root relative URLs. URLs was uniform resource locator, which is the URL. This is the URL, HTTP, and this is the link. The entire link is the URL. Okay, this could be a web URL, or it could be a pathway URL where the file is located that you're trying to access. Okay, and absolute refers to where the full path is provided. Okay, for example, this is the absolute link. Okay, and it usually leads the user outside the web page. Okay, so this is the absolute link, and the relative is the URL where only the path relative to the current location is provided. For example, we want to refer about us from the home page, and if you remember, this was the pathway that I tried to explain in the folders, managing your website, folders and files. This is the relative address. Anything relative to the current page is called relative address, and it takes you to that location. Root relative refers to URL where only the path relative to the domain's root is provided. For example, if you want to refer the current location, for example, this website is hosted by any company, any web host provider, and you have two websites hosted within the same directory. Okay, it is possible. So when you do root relative, which means that the location of your website and the other website is the same. Okay, so you're just trying to indicate it with the additional, this is how you indicate with an additional backslash. You're able to indicate that this is actually the same root folder, but I'm addressing a different folder. Within the same folder, you have another folder and you want to refer that file. That is called root relative. And the application for this is when you have a complete website and you have already uploaded it on the web hosting service. That's when you make these kind of changes. Okay, so even if I try to show this change here, write the address, I won't be able to implement the change, because what I'm doing now, all this website demonstration is where it's located in my C drive. So in order to show the root relative, you would do that when you have already uploaded your website in the entire website folder. You have uploaded it to the web hosting service. Okay, so one good application for root relative is having the English and the French folders of the same website within the same root folder. So when you want to refer to the French version, you go through the root relative link. Okay, the syntax is the same except that there are additional backslash, and they help you define the address of the other folder located within the root folder. I revised all of this, and then we had the ID attribute. Remember what the ID attribute was? The ID attribute was, it helped you create a named anchor. For example, you can make your links jump to other sections within the same page. For example, we have this website here, and if you go to the home page, okay, if we go to the home page, for example, remember this was the home page. And if we want to, for example, go to the top of the page, if I'm done reading here and I need to go to the top of the page, I just need to add an anchor, a named anchor top here. Okay, and this top would take me to the top of the page. Okay, so for example, let me show you, we did that before as well. Let me open up my notepad. For example, you just need to say H2, for example. Okay, H2 heading, and you're going to say top, and say a id is equal to, first you define the anchor. Okay, you have to define the anchor, and you can say id is equal to welcome. Okay, if you say that, it would look for welcome within your web page, and it will take your user to that section of the web page. Close this a tag. First you define the id attribute, and then you refer it. So this is the definition of the id attribute. Okay, and then let's close the h2 tag as well. Okay, closed, everything all set. Now when you want to you need to create a hyperlink. Okay, and this hyperlink will be a href is equal to welcome. Alright, this will be relative referencing within the same page, and then it's going to say, well, this is going to be exactly where your welcome code is located. Okay, this one would go right here next to trainings. Okay, and this code along with the h1 h4 whatever tag was here, whatever heading tag we use, along with that tag, this one would go to the welcome, close to the welcome. Okay, so that whenever the user clicks on top, due to the id attribute, it will recognize that top means go to the welcome section of the page. Okay, and it will do something like this. Welcome would be placed at the start of the page. So that is the purpose of the id attribute, and these are the things that we have already covered in the previous chapters. Okay, and now I want to talk about targets. Okay, local links, base, href. Local link is also the same thing. If I want to, that's exactly what the local link is, the id attribute. Okay, and apart from being an id attribute, we also have, okay, within the same root folder, you can have several folders, and you can also move directly using the id attribute. You can move directly from one page to another, okay, within the web page. Okay, there is something else. These are the three things. Okay, base, href, the target attribute, and email. Let's talk about it in the next video. See you shortly.